Astros will face Oakland in a 4-game series after the finale of this series tomorrow night. After losing 2 of 3 to the White Sox, they got one yesterday, and now it's Keuchel's corner, and everybody all dressed up in the beards and the T-shirts, hoping that they see the Dallas Keuchel at home that they saw last year. Ash,
who wouldn't want to see that? I think even some fans on other clubs would want to see a guy pitch that well. Last year, you're talking about a guy that had 18 starts at home, went 15-0. Don't forget about one in the postseason against Kansas City. So technically you could say 16-0 last year. Phenomenal numbers that accompany 1.46 ERA, 1.86 batting average against. This year, as you look at last year, all that work around and below the knees on that outside edge. This year the numbers very different. 1-3, a 4.46 ERA and 6 starts, 270 batting average. But again, you can watch last year, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find many pitches above the knees, many pitches not on the edges of the plate. That was what Dallas Keuchel was doing so well 1 year ago.
And now as he takes the mound tonight here at Minute Maid Park, he has won his last 2 starts. The Astros have won his last 3 starts. Things starting to turn for Dallas Keuchel. He's won 5 and lost 9. His ERA 5.13. Going out tonight for an important ball game. The Astros just moved into second place, breaking the tie with Seattle with a win yesterday. His overall numbers displayed there against lefties 253. Right-handers are hitting 286 against the Astros. Cy Young Award winner from last year.
And last year allowed just over 7 hits per 9 innings. This year just under 10 hits per 9 innings. So a lot of changes. The home run ball is up, though not bad this year. But in comparison to last year, quite a difference. The walks are up. And I think there's been a lot of frustration that's been up for Dallas. That inability to spot it the way he did. What you were watching from last year, this year, has turned into a larger pattern of pitches, many of which have been right through the heart of the plate.
Oh, as Keuchel faces this Seattle club, take a look at the lineup put together by former Astros catcher Scott Service. His club is 43-40, 8.5 behind Texas. Leonis Martin leads off in center field. Franklin Gutierrez plays right. Robinson Cano's at second base. The cleanup man is DH Nelson Cruz. With Day-Ho Lee at first base, Kyle Seager at third, Chris Iannetta the catcher. Left fielder is Daniel Robertson, who was just called up for this game tonight. It's Ketel Marte at shortstop, and their pitcher is Taijuan Walker. Now, Martin started the game last night with a triple. He was 1 for 4, but he was thrown out at the plate trying to score on a strikeout and throw out at first base. The throw went back to Lance McCullers, who tagged him, and that was one of the big plays in the game. Keuchel delivers. There's strike 1 for Dallas downstairs. Martin with 11 homers, 26 runs batted in, has hit lefties well this season. The Mariners have not hit as well against southpaws. Little roller goes out toward Jose Altuve, and the All-Star makes the play.
Dallas Keuchel gets the out, obviously. Pitch number 1 perfectly spotted down at the knees. Pitch number 2 up in the zone, about waist high it appeared to me, through much of the plate, and yet he still gets the out. But that has been a big difference.
Franklin Gutierrez is playing right field tonight. Gutierrez is 1 for 7 against the Astros this season. He did not play yesterday with a 252 average. He's gone deep 9 times. He looks at strike 1. Evan Gattis, the catcher for Keuchel. In Dallas's career, he is 4 and 5 against Seattle with a 3.09 ERA. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Lance McCullers was dynamic yesterday in 7 innings, giving up 5 hits and 1 run, walking 1 and fanning 10 in a 2-1 win over Wade Miley and the Mariners. Breaking pitch comes in. Bill Miller, the crew chief, rings it up for strike 2.
And again, a case of that slider not being where Dallas wanted it, and yet a strike called as we look at our MD Anderson strike zone. See, that is not at all what Dallas is attempting to do with that slider.
Strikeout for out number 2.
But he polishes it off very well in the end. A lot of times what you have to filter through when a guy pitches well or even poorly is What exactly did he do while pitches were not put in play? Maybe locations of different pitches for Dallas. Tightening that up is going to make a big difference.
Robinson Cano starting the night at 303 has 19 homers, 54 runs batted in, 535 slugging percentage, and a 441 average against the Astros for Cano, who chases that one. There's strike one. Cano's a 269 career hitter against Keuchel. He was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. One ball, one strike. Keuchel is facing the Mariners for the third time. He lost at Seattle April 26th, giving up 5 runs in 6 innings. And he got a no decision here May 7th, giving up 2 runs in 7. Bouncer to Hopper. Carlos Correa makes it a 1-2-3 9-pitch first inning for Keuchel. Here's the starting lineup for AJ Hinch, presented by Southwest Airlines. The Astros begin with George Springer in right field. They have Marwin Gonzalez at first base. Jose Altuve, who will start in the All-Star game for the 2nd straight year, is at second base. Carlos Correa is the shortstop. Colby Rasmus plays left field with Luis Valbuena at third base. Carlos Gomez is in center field batting 7th. Then it's the DH AJ Reed and the catcher Evan Gattis.
And on the mound for Seattle, Taijuan Walker. He is one of the really talented young right-handers in all of Major League Baseball. Numbers would not indicate that he's having a great year, and he's not 4-6. ERA would say he's pitched much better than the 4-6. A peek at what he did against the Astros early in the season would tell you when he's on, you better find a way to score a run and see if that's enough for the night.
He has had some really fine games against the Astros in his career. Born in Louisiana, but he was raised in California. George Springer gets it going. Looking at ball 1 from Walker. Springer, a 263 hitter, has 19 homers, 50 runs batted in. Leads the club in homers. And in fact, he's hit 55 homers in 263 Major League games. That ties Lance Berkman for the club record through that number of games. Springer has scored runs in 7 games in a row. It's 2-0 to George. Has a 360 on base average. That's in for a strike for Walker. 2-1. Walker skipped a start. He's had a problem with the arch on his right foot. He's had some tendonitis in that area. In for a strike. That makes it 2-2 on George Springer. George had quite a game yesterday. A 1st inning double, a 5th inning homer, going 2 for 4. And Springer's down as a strikeout victim.
After it got to 2-0, that became mighty filthy on George.
Walker has pitched twice against the Astros this year. He beat them in Seattle April 25th, 3-2, giving up 1 run in 7 innings. And he lost here on May 6th. He lasted only 2 innings coming out of that game with neck spasms. Gave up 3 runs, 1 of them earned. Marwin Gonzalez, who's had some very good games in his career against Seattle, is a .257. Out to center field, Leonis Martin, 2 outs. These two teams are dead even against each other, 4-4 in the season series. Jose Altuve has joined select company for the Astros. Greg Biggio is the other Astro to start consecutive All-Star games. Greg started 4 in a row at second base from 95 through 98. And the 4 All-Star nods for Altuve are tied for the 3rd most in club history, with Jeff Bagwell and Cesar Cedeno. Biggio had 7 and Berkman 5. Strike to Jose. He met with the media before the game tonight, and yes, congratulations are certainly in order to the man who leads in batting average in the major leagues at .353. No balls, 2 strikes. Here is a look at the AL All-Stars with Altuve starting alongside Hosmer and Bogarts and Machado. Then it's Bradley Trout and Betts, and Perez the catcher, with Ortiz the DH.
It's a pretty stout squad right there.
Pretty young squad too.
David Ortiz will be thrilled to hear that.
Well, he's the holdover, but the rest of the team is pretty youthful. Altuve was 2 for 4 yesterday. On a breaking ball, he checks his swing, and it's 2-2 with Carlos Correa on deck. Astros have won 12 of their last 15 games. They're now 5 games above 500 at 44-39. Altuve fouls it, and the fastball is very lively. It averages 94 for Taijuan Walker.
But he's got more than 94. He'll run you up to 97 and make it look easy.
That 26-11 record for the Astros since May 24th, reflective of a lot of good teamwork, good pitching, good hitting, strong defensive play. Base running has been better than it was prior to that. And a lot of it has to do with that A.J. Hinch move. George Springer moving into the leadoff spot on that date, May 24th. Altuve grounds, and there is out number 3, turned in by Marte to make it a scoreless first.
Ford spray chart now. As we see Dallas Keuchel matching up against one of the really tough power hitters in the game, Nelson Cruz, guy who can slam it against anybody, and he's done so against Dallas Keuchel, no question about it. He's pulled those home runs, though he's picked up knocks in all parts of the ballpark. Well, we almost saw him go opposite field to tie the game in the 9th yesterday.
Put a little extra drama into it for Will Harris. Congratulations to Will for being named to the All-Star team. Nelson Cruz gets it going. He takes, and that's a curve for strike one. Cruz with 21 homers, among the league leaders, 56 runs batted in, and he has a .280 batting average. Swings over the top of that one, and it's 0-2.
That's a location on that slider for Keuchel that last year, even the year before, such a big part of his success.
Cruz was 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Bouncer Keuchel, and the Gold Glover takes care of out number 1.
Let's go ahead and play with 5 infielders when Keuchel's pitching. What a difference that makes, too. Though you can see Altuve shaded up the middle, I don't know that he can get to that ball. In fact, I doubt it.
Good play by Keuchel, bringing up Dae-Ho Lee, who's become very popular in Seattle. .294, 11 homers, 36 runs batted in. A 2-time home run champion in the Korean League. He's slugging .515 in the American League. Quality pitch for strike one on Lee. Lee was 1 for 3, driving in a run with a one-hop single off the right field wall yesterday. And that was the only run Seattle got. It's a hard-hitting bunch, though. Good lineup. Fouls it away, and it's 0-2.
You look at the fact that Seattle can hit the long ball. Extra bases, just in general, they are exceptional. And they're a very good pitching club. They just don't play great defensively.
Yeah, they made 54 errors. That one bounces for a ball. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. But it's been some around them say a change in culture brought about by Scott Service, general manager Jerry Dipoto. And they have played much better. They've been a kind of a surprise team in the American League. Little dribbler stays fair for Dae-Ho Lee. Here's a bare hand try by Valbuena, but Lee gets a rare infield hit.
So what do you want to do when you bring a changeup? You'd like to get guys off balance, maybe have it hit a bad part of the bat. As we look at our Mattress Firm Super Mo out in front, bad part of the bat, and in this case it results in the base hit. But that was a well executed changeup.
Hit number 1 of the game goes to the big slugger. He's on for Kyle Seager. Seager, a .274 hitter, has 16 bombs. He's driven in 54. He's hit .194 against lefties. That is strike one. Seager was 2 for 3 yesterday. Seattle is 12-16 in games started by southpaws. Similar to the Astros, they are 10-15 in games started by lefties. There's a breakdown on Keuchel. That's against the Mariners since 2014. 2-1. At home this season, Dallas is 1-3 with a 4.46 earned run average. The Astros are 7-10 in his 17 starts. Now he's behind Seager, 3 balls and a strike.
It's a good 2-1 slider right there. Maybe missing the edge, but nicely spotted. All hitters over 18 home starts last year hit 186 against Dallas.
Wow.
This year up to 270.
That's rocked out to right center field. A high flyer past George Springer off the bullpen wall. Here's Lee coming to third base. He's being held there by Manny Acta, and that ball was ripped by Seager for a double. Just about 98% of the base runners in the American League would have scored on that, but the Astros were fortunate that Lee was the base runner. Seager really got into this one.
Yeah, they're also fortunate that a run wasn't scored because Springer's throw didn't have his best on it, and he short hopped Correa, who was unable to pick it up cleanly. See if we can see the ball coming back in, but what we do see is a ball that is fortunate to stay in the yard.
That gives Chris Iannetta a shot with runners at second and third and 1 out. He has 7 homers, 20 runs batted in, a .227 average, but 6 for 20 against Keuchel. And it's ball 1 with first base open. Daniel Robertson on deck. Mike Zunino did the catching yesterday with Iannetta taking a break. Now it's 2-0. Nowhere close. 3 balls, no strikes. Keuchel would certainly like to improve those numbers with men in scoring position. Ground ball on 3-0. Correa will make the play at first with Lee scoring to make it 1-0 Seattle on the ground out by Iannetta. His 21st run batted in. Last 2 seasons for Keuchel. 15-0 at home regular season last year, 1-3 this year with a 4.46 ERA. Almost as many earned runs allowed. That was the 20th that just scored in about 40 innings compared to 21 and 129 in the 3rd innings last year.
He has kept the ball in the ballpark again this year at home. 11 home runs allowed on the road this year for Dallas.
Daniel Robertson just joined the Mariners today from the minor leagues. There's strike 1 to him. Former Texas Ranger. .262 at AAA. Tacoma with 4 homers, 25 runs batted in for Robertson. Bouncer and diving. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Keuchel hustling. Keuchel beat him to the bag for out number 3, and it was a close one for Brian Knight at first base. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. Seattle leads 1-0. The Astros coming up here against Taijuan Walker in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Correa, Rasmus, and Valbuena due to bat. Meanwhile, we're getting questions from some of the fans, Ash, about where they can vote for George Springer to be an all-star. MLB.com is the place, and you can start voting right now for George.
And that lasts for how long now? 3 days?
Something like that. We're going to check on that. There's a ball hit on one bounce. A HOU fighting it, and he makes the pickup and gets to the bag. One pitch, one out. Final 5 in that American League vote. Stiff competition.
Yes, this is a really good list of guys that are not automatically on the team. Justin Pedroia, the laser show in there, Evan Longoria, Ian Kinsler, who has been really good. And Michael Saunders. You may not know a whole lot about Michael Saunders. Toronto Blue Jays and their fans will tell you a lot this year.
3 days plus to vote for one of these 5. Probably 3 more days after tonight, we're guessing. Colby Rasmus is the batter. Taking strike one. Colby at .248 has 10 homers, 40 runs batted in. He is 5 for 14 with a homer against Taijuan Walker. Colby checks his swing, and it's 1-1. Colby was 0 for 4 yesterday. Hit the ball hard in the 4th inning, lining out to second against lefty Wade Miley. Miley went 6 2/3 as the starter for Seattle. It's 1-2. Walker gets a strikeout. That's number 2 for Taijuan Walker.
Kick off your weekends right here at Minute Maid Park with the best fireworks show in town. The fireworks spectacular this Friday night is a summertime themed show. For more information, visit astros.com/fireworks or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Hope you had some nice fireworks to watch last night.
There certainly were some. A lot of people were out watching. Luis Valbuena tries to get something going with 2 outs. Taking ball 1. He brings a .257 average to the plate with 9 homers, 29 runs batted in, 3 for 24 against the Mariners. That one goes foul. Taijuan Walker made his major league debut here at Houston August 30th, 2013. It was a good one. 5 innings of 2-hit 1-run baseball. The run was unearned, and he beat the Astros 7-1. That's a high drive to right field. Enjoy it, folks. It's a 1-1 game.
Luis Valbuena got a pitch to his liking, apparently, because he destroyed this baseball. You think he knew this was gone when he hit it? Take a peek. Flip me a bat. Here we go.
Walker sure knew it.
Yeah, there was no doubt on this shot.
Not too many balls go up there. 1-1 game. Former Seattle Mariner connecting. There's ball 1 to Gomez. Carlos with 4 homers, 20 runs batted in, has a .221 average. That was impressive. 1-1. That's the 16th homer surrendered by Walker. He's in his 84th inning. The Valbuena bomb was measured at 424 feet. 1-2.
Do you like me now?
Boy, that was quite a shot to right field. It's 2-2. Valbuena connected off Walker in Seattle in June of last year. Strike 3 call. But the Astros tie it 1-1. They go deep for the 106th time this year. Valbuena joins the double figure club with his 10th.
The top of the third, and the Astros and A's hook up this Friday, and 10,000 fans will get an Astros grocery tote bag presented by MLB Network. For more info, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-79-ASTROS. Things have been trending up for Dallas Keuchel. Here in the last 7 starts, we're seeing a lot more quality starts, and I asked AJ Hinch about that, and he said, you know, with him, I'm seeing the pitch execution be a lot better, also maintaining his delivery. It's very consistent these days, which is very good for Dallas Keuchel, but pitches looking sharper. These are all good things. He's just managing to stay away from that big inning that we saw earlier in the season. And he's feeling much better at this point heading into the All-Star break. Also, guys, AJ saying that he would probably likely make that very last start or that last game before the All-Star break, that Sunday. Keuchel would be on the mound that day as well.
Thanks, Julia. 1-1 game, 1-1 count to Ketel Marte. Marte was 0 for 3 yesterday. Switch hitting shortstop. We found another way you can vote for George Springer. You can text. I'll give that to you in a moment. Ooh. 1-2. Kind of a half swing there by Marte. To receive that ballot to vote for the final All-Star, you can text the word vote. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So text VOTE to 89269. That's 89269. Three balls, 2 strikes. And then you'll vote for a specific player by texting your choice to 89269. So player number 3 in the American League will be AL3 or A3 rather. A3. Correa to his left. Good play. Boy, his footwork. He just kept those feet moving. Ash to get ready for that throw.
Little bit of a shaky start to the season defensively for Carlos, but since then he has been doing everything right, and you hit upon the footwork right there that sets it up beautifully. He's got that great arm to be able to back up a number of plays. Just beautifully done.
Just kept moving him.
Fans don't have the opportunity at the ballpark to see what goes on, especially on the home games, but every day out here the guys getting in the extra work and making sure the fundamentals are on the money.
Strike 1 to Martin. That's one reason they take so many ground balls, just to make sure on plays like that the footwork is correct. 0-2. Dallas Keuchel's gotten a couple of half-hearted swings in this inning from Marte and Martin.
That defensive side doesn't get a whole lot of headlines. Pitchers love it, no question about it. But the Astros start the day #1 in fielding percentage in the league.
Keuchel's thrown 9 of 10 first pitch strikes. Bounces that one. 1-2. Mariners certainly were very impressed by Lance McCullers' game yesterday.
I guess when you have to acknowledge you can't hit a guy's breaking ball, you ought to be impressed.
There's a breaking ball that wasn't hit. That's strikeout number 2 for Keuchel. Houston Methodist brings us our league leaders. And Lance McCullers had 18 swings and misses on his curve, the most since A.J. Burnett in 2013. He had 23 in a game.
Now he could throw it 2 and 3 times in a row on guys, and they still could not get to it.
Unhittable pitch. Franklin Gutierrez looks at ball 1, but after the game, Lance also talked about his fastball, and he was happy about the progress he's made with his fastball. I would have to agree. I think his fastball was much more of a weapon in setting up that breaking ball yesterday, Ash.
His arm stroke looked better to me. It didn't look like this manufactured, we're going to try to do it this way, paint by the numbers kind of stuff. It looked like what he was doing last year. Got up to 97 miles an hour a few times and just looked like he was free and easy.
That's really his goal, to keep working on the fastball command. Diving Correa. This is a spectacular play. Can it be done any better than this one by Carlos Correa, leaving his feet, getting up, and then the accurate, strong throw to Marwin Gonzalez for just a terrific effort by Correa.
Ends in the Astros. Every Wednesday night home game is $1 Hot Dog Wednesday, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. Your next chance for $dogs is tomorrow night. For more info, visit astros.com/$dogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. I hope Orbit has recovered from the hot dog eating contest he took part in yesterday, guys.
Was that despicable for you to watch yesterday, Julia?
It's pretty awful.
He got a lot of national commentary on his attempt to overtake Joey Chestnut. Here's A.J. Reed. There's strike 1. Reed has 1 homer, 2 runs batted in, an .091 batting average for his first 22 major league at bats.
It's not like it made me hungry watching Joey Chestnut slam that stuff yesterday either.
Orbit spent some time with his head in a garbage can. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, well, who hasn't?
After eating 70 hot dogs. Yeah. Reed is down on strikes. That's number 4 for Walker.
It's time now to play. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's do some time to play with Evan Gattis versus Walker. That in Seattle, obviously, as is this. But Evan Gattis has had some success against this hard-throwing young right-hander. And we don't mind that kind of success at all.
He moves back for ball 1. Gattis, a .218 hitter, has 12 homers, 33 runs batted in. Backhanded Seager. Not an easy play, but he made it look simple for out number 2. Orbit, in case you missed it yesterday, trying to follow in the footsteps of Kobayashi. And for a while he did, and then everything caught up with him. And it just all got very, very ugly.
Every time he sets out to try to impress Julia, it just does not work.
Clean up aisle 7.
Has he checked in for work today?
With a bucket on his head, yes.
George Springer with a fly ball out to left center field. And there's a sliding attempt, but it's not going to work. Robertson tried to make that sliding catch, and Springer is aboard with a 6-game hitting streak.
That is a real difference maker, George Springer. Get him hot. This offense has a chance to have big nights. Looked like a ball that might be caught at one point. I'm not sure that ball didn't get in the lights.
Yeah, that could be. Could have happened for Daniel Robertson. Well, Springer takes his hitting streak to 6. We've been voting for Springer. We'll tell you more about it. We figured out how to do this texting thing.
Don't go too cavalier with that "we" word.
Marwin Gonzalez hit a fly ball to center. We've got to bring in Julia, though, and ask her more about how to text. No, really, it's pretty simple, Julia. Have you been doing it?
No, but I'm waiting for you to tell me how.
Well, okay. All right. You can, first of all, send a text to capital VOTE.
So that's the recipient of your text.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me get this
correct?
right. Send the text to 89269. 89269. Fly ball, and the infielder Marte is out into shallow left field. See, we need you up here, Julia. We'll get to that later. It's a 7-pitch third inning. It's no runs, a hit, and a man left, and it's 1-1.
Phone's ready. This is how you vote for Springer in the final vote for the All-Star game. You're going to text A5 to the number 89269. A5 is what you're texting, and that's voting for George Springer. You can also hashtag vote Springer. That's another way. There's look at you guys trying to figure this out.
Okay. Thanks for cleaning up our mess.
I love it.
We're still trying to figure it out.
It's been a couple years since we've done this.
Texted? Yeah.
Well, since we had a final vote candidate.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There's ball 1 to Cano. Cano grounded out. Another question for you, Julia, though, about Orbit.
Uh-oh.
Because there's a ground ball, and it's picked up by Marwin Gonzalez, 1 out. Have you actually seen Orbit in the building today?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think I have. Is he okay?
I don't think he's here after yesterday's episode.
He might not be. Sick day. Might have overdone it a bit.
I don't think he's here.
I can't watch this without laughing. This is too good.
Laughter's not what comes to mind for me.
Well, it's funny until.
Oh, boy.
Poor Orbit.
What a terrible day.
He gave it his all.
You suppose he went to a barbecue after the game?
No way.
Nelson Cruz, the batter. There's ball one. Here is your reaction to Orbit.
What's up with all these candid shots in the truck?
They're spying on us.
Seriously.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Glad you explained the texting for George Springer, though. A lot of people are doing that now.
I don't think there's a limit.
Oh, there's a limit, I guarantee, after the effort we just put in.
What
here.
is it, 10 cents a text, Ash? Ash has a limit.
Right, depends on how much you want to spend.
All foul.
I want George on the team, but there are limitations here. How about that shot of the two of us trying to figure out how to send a text?
Look at the competition, though. Pedroia, Longoria, Kinsler, Saunders. Why not Springer? He's an all-star. A5.
I just got informed
hashtag.
that I voted for George Springer, so I feel a lot better about things.
Nice work up there.
Well,
don't forget the hashtag. You can do that as much as you want.
Oh,
You
good.
can tweet as many times. You can talk about what you had for lunch. Hashtag vote Springer.
Why would he not be an all-star, Julia?
I have no reason why he shouldn't be an all-star. Watching him every day.
What a strong year. That's hit high. Gomez way back, now looking up at the wall. That one kicks off the wall back toward right field. He's going into the home run trot. It's a home run for Cruz. And it's 2-1 Seattle. Well, Cruz hits his 3rd career home run off Keuchel to give the Mariners a 1-run advantage.
Yeah, I was watching the second base umpire, Tony Randazzo, who went out and then froze to take a peek where this ball was going to eventually hit. This is a very strong fella at the plate. That was a well-placed slider from Dallas Keuchel. But in terms of placement, Nelson Cruz wins out. You can hear those bars on that railing above the yellow line.
No doubt. He just lifted that low breaking ball and carried very well. AT HOU takes a look at it. It's ball 1. Well, Cruz is up among the league leaders in long balls. That's his 22nd. Gives him 57 runs batted in. 2 balls, no strikes to Lee. Lee got an infield hit to 3rd in the 2nd inning. Mark Trumbo leads the American League with 24. Todd Frazier has 23. 2 balls and a strike. Cruz now with 22 is tied with Edwin Encarnacion for 3rd in homers. This Mariners club has hit 124 long balls. Started the night in 2nd place in the American League behind Baltimore. Foul back. Powerful bunch, and not only powerful but good distribution of home runs. They have 7 players who have hit in double figures in homers. Pitch is ball 3, and it's a full count on Lee. Lee's walked just 10 times.
Total consternation, Brownie. The two of us trying to figure out how to send a text.
We are completely clueless.
You said let do what now?
Line drive carrying out to Springer's right. Springer on a ball that may have been up in the lights is able to reach down and snag it.
We were looking at Nelson Cruz and some of the balls he's able to hit. On the left side, you see hot zones. Look at down and in. That red hot zone that slider wound up in. It would seem to be a great location. Watch what Dallas does. That's his go ahead and swing at it if you want to location with a slider. But Nelson Cruz had the response.
It would appear that's one of those times that a pitcher needs to say, all right, let's tip our cap to the guy.
Yeah.
Kyle Seager doubled to right center field earlier. Good looking player. Strike 1 to Seager.
By the way, that was a very nice battle and victory in the end for George Springer on that line drive in the lights to right.
That could be panic time. 1-1. I'd say with some would be somewhat unlikely for a guy to catch a ball around his ankles after it comes out of that bank of lights, wouldn't you?
Yeah, when you're making a fair catch, that's not your ideal location to be able to grab it from, but accomplished by George.
1-2.
Obviously, he's not as confused as we are at the moment.
Seager is down on strikes, but the Cruz home run puts Seattle in front 2-1.
Get on Twitter, head to the Root Sports SW page and vote in the poll. How many Astros did you think deserve to make the All-Star team? All right, was it just Altuve that belonged? 2, 3, or should they have 4 or more? How many players on this team do you think should be an All-Star? Could be 3.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. Let's talk.
Hashtag vote Springer.
Jose Altuve takes strike 1. Altuve grounded out. Well, certainly the two guys, Altuve and Will Harris, who have been named for sure, are extremely deserving. But it took an injury for Will Harris to make the team, right? Wade Davis was placed on the disabled list.
Not for me, it didn't. Obviously, Wade Davis deserves to be on the team, but come on.
Yeah.
Will Harris's numbers are just off the charts.
They're astonishing. No balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Julia's got me flustered, by the way, with his hashtag thing. Yeah, there we go. Hashtag, you say, huh?
You guys are hashtagging here.
We know hash, but you know the meal that you have, but we don't know that kind of hashtag.
Is that the moment where Ash voted?
No, that was the moment where Ash and I were trying to figure out how to text somebody. And we still don't have it down. Altuve grounds in the hole. Tough play here. They won't make it. Nope. There's a little bobble there for Marte to the backhand side, and he's not going to get Altuve with that bobble. Still a good effort by Marte. A single.
You just have to do everything perfectly to get Altuve. And you can see perfection wasn't accomplished, and in the end, it means base hit Altuve.
Yeah, those 2 extra steps by Marte.
It's one of the things, again, about Altuve. Had a couple of little infield dribbler hits yesterday. Picks this one up. When he's not hot, he still finds a way to get his hits.
Well, he showed that yesterday, and there's another example tonight. Carlos Correa grounded out. Altuve attracts a throw. He has 21 steals in 24 tries. Altuve had a couple of infield hits in yesterday's game. He lined out. So he just continues to pick up the base hits in whatever fashion. And that's made him an all-star yet again this year. Foul back. But so the difference, Julia, I think, is that Altuve by now is entrenched as an all-star with his 4 all-star nods. But George Springer hasn't made it yet, so he's still perhaps in a way of national consciousness. He still is trying to work his way into it, so to speak.
I agree with that. You know what helps is the Astros fans.
Yeah. Yeah, they are really turning out in big numbers in terms of supporting their players. The unfortunate thing is that there were so many Cubs and so many Red Sox players voted in by their fans. Many years ago, the ballot box was stuffed for Cincinnati Reds, and the commissioner had to step in and prevent the entire Reds team from starting the All-Star game. But things have changed a little bit. However, the vote was still very strong, obviously, for Red Sox and Cubs fans this year. 1-2. But, you know, it's great that the fans are involved and do get this opportunity to vote. Too bad A.J. Hinch will not be going as a coach. The system of naming the coaches for the All-Star teams has changed. Altuve takes off. Here's the throw high and late. He steals it for the 22nd time.
Another close play, but again, Altuve wins so many close ones. See, even on the straight steal, Altuve and plenty of other guys will glance back. It used to be said that you only glance back on the hit and run. It's really not true. Some people are going to say, well, it slows you down. I don't know.
22 steals ties him for the league lead. That pitch upstairs, Iannetta might have been crossed up the way he caught that one. It's 3-2 now. And Correa will try to do something about moving Altuve. That's a difficult pitch. Strikeout number 5.
That might be the first changeup we've seen from Walker.
Might be. Well, he pulled it out at an effective time. Colby Rasmus struck out in the 2nd inning. Texas Rangers and Boston Red Sox are tied 2-2. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Watch it fly. Colby Rasmus with another tape measure shot gives the Astros the lead 3-2 on a 2-run homer, number 11.
I'll take a little Keuchel and a big slice of Colby Jack.
These 2 home runs have been bombs. Now Valbuena. He gets a curveball for ball 1. Rasmus really ripping that one to give him 42 runs batted in. Good to see that bat wake up. 2 balls, no strikes, even though Colby did hit .313 in the month of June. He just hasn't been playing a whole lot in recent games. The Astros have been facing more lefties. Colby's 42 runs batted in are the most he's had prior to the All-Star break of a single season since 2013, when he had 48 at the All-Star break for Toronto. That was a 418-footer. .30 pitch in for a strike. The Astros are pulling out the long ball. They've hit 54 at home this season. This is their 42nd game here. Valbuena did not get a good cut, and it's a full count now. In the Rangers-Red Sox game, A.J. Griffin went 4 as the Texas starter. David Price is in there for Boston. Valbuena works a walk. That's the first for Walker. We take a look at the Rasmus swing.
See what Colby had to deal with right here. Fastball just running right, heat-seeking the heart of the plate. And then even more seriously, heat-seeking some seats a long way from home plate.
These have been majestic shots.
Get up, darling.
Carlos Gomez struck out earlier looking. There's strike one to him. Homers are up since last year by 14% in the majors. And they are up from 2014 34%. Off the plate, 1-1. There are 49 players in the majors on pace to hit at least 30 home runs this year. Foul away, and it's 1-2. Batting averages, though, are down, so it just seems, and there was an article by Bob Nightingale in USA Today this morning. George Springer certainly falls into the theme of that article. Leadoff guys hitting home runs. Or guys who hit second in the case of a Mike Trout sometimes. 2-2. It just seems that it's more and more difficult with the hard throwing pitchers in the game today to put together those rallies involving 3 or 4 hits, 3 or 4 runs. So more and more teams seem to be relying on the long ball and scoring a higher percentage of their runs on the long ball. 3-2 now. And so maybe consciously, maybe not, managers are taking guys who would have hit maybe third or fourth, and they're hitting them leadoff or second to give them more at bats, and that's an instant run, and George Springer goes deep. Runner going, and it's foul back.
Yeah, I don't know what leads to the numbers creeping back upward and maybe doing more than creeping, but guys work out just nonstop. And to me, it's a stronger, more well-conditioned athlete that is accomplishing what's taking place.
Runner takes off. That's a hanger to left field. Marte and Robertson go for it. Robertson there. 2 outs. We're going to do more Twitter work, Ash. It's only good from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday, so we need to vote quickly.
Wait a minute. Only good from 10 a.m. what? Oh, so it's only on Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can text right now, of course. So that Twitter hashtag has not gone into effect yet until 10 a.m. Friday.
Is that to say Julia was incorrect?
No, she's never incorrect.
Couldn't be, right?
Wow.
No?
Thanks, Ash.
Oh, well, it's the sheer astonishment on my part that that could have even been a possibility.
No, I didn't know that it was just that short amount of time where it counted. So everyone can still hashtag vote Springer in order to prepare for Friday.
We're all learning together.
We are. But I think you should be able to hashtag as much as you want.
Yep.
That way on Friday, when 9 o'clock comes around, you're ready.
Yeah.
We live by that theme, Julia.
Yeah.
We're going to go home tonight. Ash and I are having a meeting tonight after the game, Julia.
We're having a hashtag meeting.
We're going to try to get this down, And if we ever succeed, we're going to start voting for George Springer.
Look at that look on my face. Do I look like a man that has figured out what you're talking about?
Let's just superimpose the word clueless beneath that shot.
Yeah, there have been some movies named after what that could be right there. A little Dumb and Dumber, huh? Not to imply that you're either one of those, Brownie, but
No,
I sucked up both of those, I think.
well, you're right on with it. I was just thinking that all these 8- and 9-year-olds have already outvoted us by 50 to 1. And it's a good thing they have. Julia, what do you think if we ask for tomorrow night? I know you're not going to be here, but if Ash and I were to ask for tomorrow night off to figure out how to vote for George Springer.
Not happening.
Okay.
Let's hashtag that in and see if we get a response.
Hashtag early morning meeting for you two.
Deep drive. And Marti's going to turn and watch it fly. That's an amazing drive by Reed. Number 2, and it's still going. A.J. Reed unloads.
Look out, power seekers. The Astros may have landed another big fish.
5-2 Houston on a pair of 2-run homers. The number 8 hitter.
Oh, man, up and away as he drives it the other way. Let's take a peek. That's going to make for a hot zone right there. Now, where does it hit? And it's to the right of the Brad Ausmus line. Yeah. Is this?
Did it hit the line?
No, that's inside the. That's or outside. However you want to look at it. That's the. That's for me the Brad Ausmus line right there.
My goodness, what a poke. That's number 2. Is he going to see another? Well, they're going to review it because it may have hit right on that line you talked about, and we'll see what New York says. Yeah, the fan might have touched it as he tried to make the catch reaching out over the rail. Did he touch it? That's a question.
What kind of reach does he have? Is that Kevin Durant? Oh, wait a minute. Where's that hit?
You know what? If he did touch it, he'd be pulling back his hand like he just touched a hot frying pan. Boy, that ball was scalded.
That's going to be a really hard one to turn around, I hope. You know, you're right. Coming from home plate, that ball almost has to be redirected to move back toward that line, does it not?
That's a point.
I mean,
we have another angle.
Coming from home plate, it should be working away from the line, but now it works back to the line. So that's got to be a home run. If they determine that fan touched that ball, he's in home run territory, and there's no way he's creating the home run territory.
Exactly.
That's a dinger for me. I will not accept that being turned around the other way.
They would have to establish that it was touched in order for that to be a homer. Otherwise, it hit on the yellow line.
But you see what I'm talking about. If the fan is then asked to be perceived not to have touched the ball, where does it hit? It hits in home run territory, right?
Right. Yep. Home run.
Yeah.
He will not see another fastball for at least 2.5 months.
You know, he had such a hard time the first 15, 16 at bats with the changeup, and he's hit a couple of fastballs for the distance. That's a good job by the umpires in New York and here.
Scott Service came out to get an explanation from Bill Miller, the crew chief. So Reed hits number 2, picking on a fastball and driving it a long way. Walker gave up 3 homers in one other game. That was May 29th against the Twins. It's now 5-2 with Evan Gattis batting. And it's ball 1. Very imposing show by the Astros power hitters. It's 1-1.
His home runs have a nice impact on the scoreboard. Have you noticed that?
These balls have not been cheap homers in here. 2-1. Some people want to be identified under those beards. Martin in center field is waiting for it. And the Astros crank a couple of two-run homers. Rasmus hitting number 11, their second of the night, after Valbuena earlier in the second inning. And then Reed, number 2 of the season. It's 5-2 Houston after 4. Is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing too high. By Lexus, the new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. 5-2, the Astros lead Seattle. Astros have ripped 3 home runs for their 5 runs. The Mariners got a long ball from Nelson Cruz. They come up in the 5th inning. Chris Iannetta leading it off. He got an RBI on a ground out. Dallas Keuchel throws, and there's strike 1 for Dallas. Dallas, after getting very little run support, the last 2 times out has had plenty, in a 13-4 win at Kansas City and a 10-4 win at Anaheim. And he certainly wouldn't mind this being another one of those nights. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's had 2 quality starts in his last 3. Well, actually 3, because he had an unearned run in that game at Kansas City. Gave up 3 earned runs in 6 and 1/3 innings. 3-0 to Iannetta. Robertson's on deck. Marte due up 3rd in the inning. Count's been corrected to 2-1 now. There's a liner to left field. Rasmus will play it off the wall. It caroms into his glove. He fires into second. Well played. Iannetta has only a single.
Time after time, it's what Colby brings you defensively in left or anywhere he plays. He is just exceptional at being able to read balls off the wall, and very accurate thrower.
He read that bounce perfectly, backed off the wall just far enough to get the hop. He turns doubles into singles. Daniel Robertson grounded out, and Marwin Gonzalez made a good play, tossing to Dallas Keuchel to just nip him at first. Strike 1 to Robertson. Robertson, we mentioned, had been with the Rangers last year. He was with the Angels. in for a strike. 0-2. The Mariners made a roster change after the game last night, sending down lefty reliever David Rollins and adding one of the 4 bench players. Most of the time probably would be Robertson, but they wanted him in against the lefty. 1-2. Texas got a run in the 6th and leads 3-2 at Boston. They're now in the top of the 7th inning. Two. Our prayers go out to the family of Frankie B. Mandola. He's a longtime friend of the Astros, great restaurateur in the Houston area, and his wife Judy and family. Hopefully they will have a good night, get good results. There's a toss. Carlos Correa, 1 hop, and it's safe at first base. And here's a chance to go to second for Robertson as the ball went off the glove of Marwin Gonzalez. They got the force on Iannetta, but the double play relay from Correa bounced.
Jose Altuve really can't set this up any better than he did. Turned out awkward for Carlos Correa coming across the bag, and he'll get an error on the play, but for a ball hit fairly sharply, that wound up being very tough. Obviously close at first. Touch the bag going by. Yep. Yep. And that's the way guys do it. They know exactly what they're doing there. But again, it just wound up awkward for Carlos.
He drew his 7th error, allowing Robertson to go from first to second. Now it's Marte fouling it for strike 1. Marte grounded to shortstop in the 3rd inning. Toronto's blasting Kansas City 8-2. They're in the bottom of the 8th. That game's at Rogers Center tonight. It's 1-1. Blue Jays are 46-39. They have 2 more wins than the Astros. They're even in the loss column with Houston. The Royals are 43-39. Now losing Wade Davis, though, to the DL, their closer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's an uphill battle for Kansas City. It would appear this year. Chris Young, their starter, gave up 6 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings tonight, and that's one thing that Ned Yost has had to do, go to his bullpen earlier than he would have liked in many games this year. R.A. Dickey went 7 very good innings tonight for Toronto. Swing and a miss. It gets away, but not very far from Gaddis, who throws to Marwin Gonzalez for the strikeout. 2 outs, but the runner advances to third. Robertson.
Follow Astros baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment with game day, StatCast, live highlights, and more, even when you're at the game right here at Minute Maid Park. And go ahead and use their new Wi-Fi. It's very good. Download the app for your phone or tablet right now.
Martin is 0 for 2. He grounded to second and he struck out. He fouls that one, strike 1. Just checking back, Gaddis did catch Keuchel in Dallas's last start in Anaheim, but they have not worked together a lot this year. That's strike 2.
Getting word that in New York they saw it as we did. Fan touched the baseball in that area that had he not touched it, it would have been a home run.
Well, that's interesting to know. Yeah, you had that one figured. Struck him out looking. That's number 5 for Dallas Keuchel. It's no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. The Astros lead it 5-2.
About to get to look at Springer here in a second, who's a final vote candidate, and his bat has been heating up in the month of July. Even after a slow June, I asked AJ Hinch about it yesterday. He said, yeah, he is starting to look more like the Springer we saw in earlier months. It was a tough stretch there in June, but he still found a way to make an impact on every single game. He was getting his walks, he was stealing bases, and he was beating Springer in the clubhouse and in the dugout, which is so important for this team and their personality in order for them to win and have success. And here's how you vote Springer to get him to the All-Star game in San Diego. Text A5 to 89269. The guys upstairs have figured this out, so you can too.
No, in other words, if we can, anybody can.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm messing with you guys.
You know,
so you say what, Browning?
I think, Julia, a couple of chimpanzees at the Houston Zoo would have a better shot at it than we did.
There you go.
Oh my goodness,
That's
what's that?
the story of our night on voting for George Springer.
Oh, Twitter.
Texting for dummies. Oh, yeah, thank you, windbreaker. Springer takes a strike. It's 0-2. By the way, has George named a running mate yet, Julia, to your knowledge, for his All-Star campaign?
No.
All right.
Who would he have by his side? Jake Marisnik.
Yeah, would have to be Jake with that Oregon helmet on. 1-2.
It is his football buddy, his lacrosse buddy.
George is often seen walking through the Astros clubhouse with a football helmet on before games. Mike Montgomery is on in relief of Taijuan Walker. Bounces that one. It's 2-2. Montgomery is going to be, yeah, he just turned 27. He's from Mission Hills, California. Hey, good support for George right there. And they want a dinger. Such an exciting thing, though, especially that first trip as an all-star for a player. Maybe this will be it for George. If not, he has stamped his candidacy for the future. He started to step out, then realized he wasn't going to get time and stepped back in and took ball 3. And now he's talking with the home plate umpire, Bill Miller.
Bill Miller probably saying, wise move. At that point, I just can't give it to you. And all you're doing as a hitter is requesting.
Line shot to right. He hangs out a frozen rope, and he is 2 for 3.
That's not just flaring it the other way. That is stinging it. Pitch up and away. 95 on that fastball.
Boy.
And he turned it around with a little more MPH for good measure.
What do you think about 110 going out?
I would imagine.
You're going to hang a week's worth of laundry for our neighborhood on that line. So Springer really ripping it. And it's Marwin Gonzalez coming up next. Hey, thanks, Jason Walker. Jason's very advanced compared to us.
Higher form of life, you're saying?
Strike 1 to Marwin. That was artistic. Is Paul Bykowski directing tonight?
I actually missed what the archy thing that came your way there.
That was that walking shot through the archway, taking us inside the stadium.
Walkway, hashtag walkway, is that what you're talking about?
Hashtags, yes. We're going to stick with the hashtags tonight on everything. Iannetta stopped it, but then he couldn't locate it, and that allowed Springer to move to second base. On a wild pitch, it's 1-1.
Good read on that slider in the dirt. George has been ailing just a little bit since crashing into the wall a couple of days ago. Maybe cutting down some of the speed part of his game.
He plays the game extremely hard. The wall's not going to stop him. Tap foul. Montgomery's making his 30th appearance of the year with a 2.33 ERA. Batting average against Mike is just .213. He began with Kansas City and was traded to Tampa Bay after 2012. Last year he started 16 games for Seattle. Lefties are hitting only .153 against Montgomery. Marwin looks at it, and it's 2-2. The Astros will be facing another lefty tomorrow night. Wade LeBlanc. They've all voted for George Springer 50 times already, and now they're having fun. High chop to third. Seager makes the long throw across. 1 out.
Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Who have the Astros hit the most home runs against since 2013? Of course, they're playing these teams 19 times apiece each year. Seattle's the team, though. Yeah. Not too bad there. 51 dingers. I'd like to see them add to that figure here in the series.
They've hit 3 balls extremely well tonight. Jose Altuve is 1 for 2, an infield hit. Ground ball third. Seager. 2 outs. Carlos Correa will bat next. He's 0 for 2. We've just gotten a text from Major League Baseball, Ash.
Again?
Giving us a cease and desist order with trying to explain the all-star voting texting situation.
Oh dear. They've sent the texting police out on us, huh?
They're flying in Jeff Blum to take over for the rest of tonight's game.
Okay, well, if you get stopped on 290.
Short hop play by Seager, and he makes it very well. No runs a hit and a man left after 5. The Astros lead it 5-2. Quite a year. He started off at AA Corpus Christi, where he was an all-star. Then he got bumped up to AAA, and he has not slowed down his pace for the Fresno Grizzlies. Ash.
There's a young man who looks like he's trying to make that route to the big leagues as quick and as straight-lined as possible. I tell you what, he's just playing like a man possessed here recently.
2 more homers last night in his home debut, driving in 3. He's hit 4 homers in 5 games since his promotion June 30th. 11 runs banded in those 5 games, and Teoscar Hernandez accompanied him in that promotion. He's done well too. Franklin Gutierrez fouls it. There's strike 1 leading off the 6th inning. He's 0 for 2.
I don't think the Bambino ever approached 1,600 on the OPS, did he?
No. James Hoyt got his 21st save for Fresno in a 4-1 win over Sacramento last night. It's 0-2 to Gutierrez. These top 3 hitters against Keuchel have not reached base tonight. Combined 0 for 7. With no walks against Martin, Gutierrez, and Cano. One and 2. Scott Service's club is 5th in runs scored in the American League. We're hearing that Vogt Springer is trending on Twitter now. That's a strikeout, and it's number 6.
You know what could also trend right now? Dallas Keuchel, good locations.
Good stuff, Chris Worthen.
What is that they're dealing with there?
I think it's it's a computer. You know what those are.
I've heard.
We might be able to find one. But then again, that looks like a pretty good time too. Robbie Cano is 0 for 2. That's ball 1. And Scott Service in his office today before the game was talking about how fun it is for these two teams to be battling against each other. And hopefully better days are ahead for them, maybe even battling for the ALS title in the late stages. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scott, as he got this first managerial opportunity, really worked hard to get to know his players and people in the organization in the winter after taking over. It's a familiar feel for us to go into that Seattle clubhouse to see not only Scott but his coaches. Mike Hampton's the bullpen coach. Tim Bogar is the bench coach. Manny Acta, the third base coach. Casey Candel, the first base coach. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. is the pitching coach. He pitched in the Astros minor leagues when his dad was the pitching coach. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Familiar feel. And always good to see Casey. Casey was so funny today. Has he ever not been funny? 3-2.
There's a guy that just had him cracking up at all times when he was a player. I imagine it hasn't changed.
Well, he had us cracking up. Barry Warner was in the coach's dressing room when I was there, and they were talking about this doctor in Houston. Bouncer up the middle, on through into center field. There's a 1-out single. Robinson Cano now has a 15-game hitting streak against the Astros. Nelson Cruz ripped a homer in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. Yeah, so Barry Warner and Casey Candel were comparing notes about a doctor here in Houston, and they both had experiences with this fine doctor. And his last name is Doctor, so it's Dr. Doctor. Remind you of a Chevy Chase movie at all?
I was just going to say, Chevy Chase wrote those lines, right?
Foul ball, and there's strike 1 to Cruz. Cruz is a .410 hitter against Keuchel for his career, after going 1 for 2 in this one so far.
Apparently Nelson Cruz sees the ball pretty well off of Dallas Keuchel.
No balls, 2 strikes. He has established the fact that he can hit a low breaking ball.
Now, sometimes you want to come up, and when a guy like Nelson Cruz shows you that slider down and in is not going to work for you, you try to come up with a heater. So I would put that in right where Dallas wanted it.
86 pitches for Dallas at 5 1/3 innings tonight. And And as Julia told us, A.J. Hinch has indicated that Dallas is down to start the Sunday finale here against Oakland before the All-Star break. This Houston pitching staff is getting better and better. Third best ERA in the league coming into the game tonight, 3.87. Off his foot. Cruz limps away from home plate with a 1-2 count. We're checking some of the numbers, Ash. Here's a look at that foul ball.
Sometimes that could be the medicine that really leaves a hitter unable to pull the trigger on that slider down and in. That pitch wasn't maybe a great location for Dallas. Hard to tell from that angle, but beat yourself up a little bit and you become timid about swinging at that pitch.
He's hurting right now. We get a report that Taijuan Walker left the game with discomfort in his left foot. In 4 innings, he allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, walking 1, fanning 5. Mentioned looking at some numbers though, Ash, the Astros ERA at home is 3.14 this season. Pretty impressive stuff.
Maybe no surprise there when you look at the overall numbers on the Astros. On that pitching side, they just continue to edge upward. They start the day tied. A couple of other clubs, Seattle among those other clubs, for second best ERA in the American League.
And yet they aren't hitting as well at home this season. You wouldn't know it by tonight. But they're hitting .237 at home, .252 on the road this year. They've scored 20 more runs on the road in 1 more game. So the pitching has really carried this club by and large to its 24-17 home record.
Well, you kind of have to look at some recent games in Kansas City, a couple of 13-run efforts by the Astros offense. So maybe that factors in a little bit there. But yeah, it is a little unusual, I would think, for the club.
Cruz is staying in with a 1-2 count. Indians are pummeling the Tigers 10-1. They're in the middle of the 8th inning. Carlos Carrasco pitched a good 6 innings. Tyler Naquin hit his 7th home run. That Cleveland club tough.
Have the fans in Cleveland started coming out?
I don't know.
Recent years have left them with very small attendances, and you wonder, are they rallying behind their tribe?
Carl Patterson says they had a sellout yesterday.
Huh.
3-2.
Well, that's good news.
How many sellouts do you remember when you were a tribesman?
Well, let's see. We had like an 80,000 seat mistake there by the lake, and generally about 7,000 was called a sellout.
I can see it now. There's the ball, and now 2 men on for Dae-Ho Lee. If Skip Carey had been doing your games, he would have said we're 75,000 short of a sellout. All right, you got a hashtag, and we're still trying to figure out the hashtag.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be trending after a while.
Well, we kind of like the corned beef hash, but still trying to get the hashtag.
You could cook some corned beef hash up here right now.
Yeah. Dae-Ho Lee is 1 for 2.
No extra flame needed.
In tight, ball 1. Keuchel with a 3-run lead, now facing the potential tying run. And here's a guy who really has the power to tie this game. It's a pretty good looking hitter. Foul ball, 1-1.
He certainly is a dangerous hitter. Get a couple of guys on base like this and have to be very, very cautious with him.
Keuchel in his last 8 starts has struck out 46 and walked 9. One and 2. You know, those big run support games he's had in those last 2 starts can work both ways. He had the big lead, so you know, pitcher tends to work a little bit differently. Maybe gives up a run or two more than he might have in a tight game. Nonetheless, he won. So it may not have helped his ERA as much. Foul back. But then that 2-1 game yesterday. Yeah, a lot of people talking about that, Ash. How interesting and exciting it was right down to the final out.
Boy, I guess that fly ball by Nelson Cruz came very close to tying the game. George Springer thankfully there to haul it in.
Lazy foul ball. Marwin Gonzalez sprinting over to it, but it's out of play for him. Robinson Cano was named an All-Star tonight, so he and Jose Altuve will be teammates on the American League club. Lined out to left field. Colby Rasmus coming in, reaching down for the catch. That's a big out, number 2.
And now peek at that Lexus defensive ratings for the Astros. Well timed too with Colby Rasmus making a nice play. He just makes them all. He is so good and he throws very well. You see, along with George Springer, guys you don't run on. Carlos Gomez, great velocity out of his right arm. A little less consistency with the accuracy, but 3 guys you don't want to spend much time trying to run on if you're a major league third base coach.
Kyle Seager double to right center in the second. He's 1 for 2. In the dirt, ball 1. Evan Gattis, how would you rate him at blocking balls in the dirt?
He's not bad at all. I don't know that Evan has, perfect style points all the time, but he's been very committed, and to me that's one of the keys about being a catcher. Big situations, blocking pitches.
Now the runner attempts to move up to third, and he does on that pitch in the dirt. Robinson Cano advancing.
A lot of times it's the glove that becomes the culprit. That glove not quite all the way down, and it wasn't the glove that kicked the ball to the right. It just happens sometimes. No way around it.
Wild pitch by Keuchel, his 7th of the year.
But to your question, I love the commitment on the part of Evan Gattis.
Yeah, he is committed. 1-1 to count. And that foul ball makes it 1-2. It's not a term of disrespect. It's a sports term. So if you don't like it, that's fine. Junkyard dog. Just a sign of a hardworking player who's willing to grovel in the dirt, do whatever he has to do to win. Maybe that applies.
Another way of saying blue collar. A little bit.
Yeah.
Just
sure.
that guy that's going to give you everything he's got.
He's just out there to fight you and win. This will be the 100th pitch for Keuchel. Neshek is warming up for the Astros. We have 98 on the screen. Popped up. Valbuena over into foul territory. And Keuchel gets 2 big outs on Lee and Seager. Stranding 2 runners. No runs a hit. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 5-2 Astros. some fun on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm afraid to ask which one is which there, but
No.
I guess it really doesn't matter, does it?
I'll take Jim Carrey.
Those are not looks of surprise, just total agreement, buying in.
Good stuff. 5-2 Astros. They got 4 on a pair of 2-run homers in the 4th inning. Colby Rasmus hit one of those. Colby is 1 for 2. He leads off the home 6th against Mike Montgomery and takes ball 1.
Even Michael Jordan's not allowed to cry in baseball, is he?
No. Valbuena and Gomez are due to follow Rasmus to the plate. We've had some fun tonight. Thanks to all the folks for helping us to have a few laughs. 2 balls, no strikes.
Hashtag fun at the ballpark, right?
Yeah.
You live it.
Julia's been very quiet tonight. 3-0.
Do I seem quiet?
Have you seen Orbit behind the third base dugout?
I see him.
He's here.
Which means he's here and healthy. Had some Pepto last night. It was all good to go.
3-1. He's irrepressible. You know Orbit's not going to miss a game.
No way. He's probably getting ready for the All-Star game. It's a big week for him, isn't it?
Is he a part of that? Oh, yeah, they have the mascot thing.
Oh, yeah, they're all over the place.
Okay.
They're in the parade.
Did he get voted in by his peers?
Well, he should be voted in.
He's a shoo-in.
Yeah. Orbit taking a little break.
I've not seen his stat line recently, so pardon me.
Rasmus is the strikeout victim. 1 out. Valbuena homered in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. Actually, Julia's been quite busy tonight. She rushed down to interview Jose Altuve, who was made available to the media. That announcement wasn't made until right after 6 o'clock Central Time, and the game was at 7:10. That's not usually a time when the players are accessible, but Julia got it done, as always.
Jose Altuve was nice enough to visit with us.
Oh, yeah.
He's great with stuff like that.
He understands his responsibility, doesn't he?
He does, and I know he had to probably get in the cage to start getting warmed up minutes after that, so it was very nice of him to take some time.
Pat Neshek at work. The count is 0-1 on Valbuena. Mariners have Iannetta, Robertson, and Marte 2 up. Knocked down. Montgomery throws low and safe at first. Valbuena reaches on the low throw by Montgomery.
Seems to be one pitcher after another that they can bring it 95 to the plate for a strike on the edge, but when asked to throw one to first base, just have some kind of limitation that goes on there.
It looked like he just kind of lollygagged it over there. Still could have been caught, but Lee couldn't handle it on one hop. Just kind of tossed it. He didn't really throw it. Gomez is 0 for 2. A strikeout, looking, a fly ball to left. That's ball 1. Do you have a theory as to why so many pitchers have problems fielding?
If you're asking about that throwing aspect,
yeah,
I really don't. It's the thing.
Shot into center field. Martin slides, got his glove on it. Did he really hold it? Yep. He gets credit for making the catch. 2 outs. That ball was blistered by Gomez.
He's actually hung out 3 or 4 line drives over the last few days for outs, hitting in a very tough spell of luck right here. But yeah, you know, Larry Anderson was a guy I played with who, for the life of him, couldn't walk a guy intentionally, couldn't throw to the plate, throw to first base out of the question. And you know, John Lester's one of those guys that can't throw to first base for the Cubs.
Yep.
There are a number of them.
A.J. Reed hit a very impressive 2-run homer. He's 1 for 2. There's strike 1.
when a player, a position player, comes up with that ailment, it's called the thing by the players, and it's dreaded. When a pitcher gets it, they seem to be fine other than that little toss.
Oh, 2 to Reed. Reed started his major league career 0 for 16. He weathered that storm. He swung and struck out. That's number 2 for Montgomery. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left after 6. The Astros lead the Mariners 5-2.
Park 5-2, Astros on top. 2016 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies memberships are on sale now for only $25. Buddies members get a voucher for 4 tickets to an Astros game, VIP access to Kids Run the Bases, exclusive autograph sessions, and more. Memberships for kids up to 12 years old are available by visiting astros.com/buddies. Astros looking to get another win over the Mariners. They got that one yesterday, and that was after dropping 2 to the Chicago White Sox. Just a 2-game losing streak. You can't even really call it a losing streak, but this team to bounce back like they did has just tells you how they're feeling at this point of the season. They've built some internal credibility when it comes to knowing that they can just bounce right back and play baseball. It doesn't matter what happened the day before, play good baseball that they have been playing and get themselves back into series. And it all really starts with starting pitching guys. Dallas Keuchel doing his job today. But that's been key for this group to stop the red-hot teams when they come into town, and that's exactly what the Seattle Mariners were doing when they showed up in Houston and putting a stop to them in that game 1 of the series.
Yeah, they rolled through that 4-game series with Baltimore. Thanks, Julie. You got a question for you in a minute, but that's a strike to Iannetta. Pat Neshek just in the game. Keuchel in 6 innings, allowing 5 hits, 2 runs, walking 1, fanning 6. 4th straight quality start for Dallas. This one near the right field line finds Marwin Gonzalez over into foul territory. 1 out. Keuchel threw 99 pitches, 63 for strikes. He threw 15 of 24 first pitch strikes. Neshek's 2-1. His whip is 0.87. Ash.
Felt like as the night went on for Dallas, he got sharper, especially his slider. I thought he was spotting it well throughout the evening. So maybe another step forward for Dallas. Pat Neshek trying to keep this roll going for the club now.
Tony Sepp is getting loose. Neshek last worked on Saturday against the White Sox. He worked a scoreless 9th inning. There's strike 1 to pinch hitter for Robertson, Sean O'Malley. Robertson was 0 for 2. With a right-handed pitcher, Neshek in. Scott Service goes to his lefty. O'Malley's a switch hitter. He's hitting 206 left, 250 right. Overall a 227 hitter, and he's 0 for 2 pinch hitting. That one's in on him. 0-2 for Neshek. So the question for Julia is, you spent a lot of time around these guys. When the Astros were 17-28, can you make a comparison? Ken Giles now has joined SIP with their clubhouse with the way it is now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The confidence of this group just walking around a clubhouse changes. They were a little more quiet back then. I'm just trying to figure things out. They were trying to figure out why there were so many losses and in so many different ways. They were running into outs back then. I mean, you know, there were a lot of things this team knew they were better than they were performing. And so the personality changed. Once they found their winning ways, they were loose again. The dancing began again. And it all sounds really silly, but that's who this club was last year when they were playing well and they were feeling loose and they were going out and doing what they do. And they were themselves again. So they've kept that since then, and hopefully they'll keep that throughout the rest of the season.
2-2 to Sean O'Malley. Poked out toward left center field. Rasmus watching Gomez go for it. 2 outs. They do play with a flair. They like to have a little bit of a good time in the clubhouse after the game with the club Astros. Very much a personality type team. You're right. They were quiet when they were 17-28. It doesn't mean they weren't playing hard. They played hard, but there were a number of things that just weren't clicking. It's not all that easy, is it? But you mentioned the base running. I think the fielding was not quite as sharp. There would be little things that would come back to bite them in a game, and it wouldn't be necessarily the same thing every night. But they were just falling a little short. But generally, the pitching is much better now.
Winning cures. Bottom line. But you're going to face some more tough times over the course of the season.
1-1. The Astros started the season against the clubs in the American League West 4-13. Now they've won 7 in a row against the West, including 2 sweeps of the Angels, and they're 17-16. 1-2. In 9 of the last 13 wins for the Astros, they've held their opponents to 3 runs or less, and that kind of consistent pitching really can amount to a lot in baseball. Bounced slowly. Balbuena to his left. Big throw. And in the 7th, it goes 1-2-3 for Pat Neshek, maintaining this 5-2 Astros lead.
Welcome back. A very exciting day for a couple of Astros who are headed to the All-Star game. Jose Altuve, Will Harris going to his first. We have a winner in our Chevy Stroh poll. We asked you, how many of these Astros deserve to go to San Diego for the Midsummer Classic? You said 3 with 51%. 20% of you said 4 or more. I know a lot of people said that they would write in Carlos Correa if they had a chance there, but thanks to everyone who voted. We know for sure 2 are going, and hashtag vote Springer.
Line shot up the middle. Wow. Cano picks it on the backhand side and robs Evan Gattis, who hit a screamer for out number 1. That ball was smoked.
You know, we've seen Gomez and now Gattis hit ropes for outs. Nature of the game, and that nature can be very unfriendly at times.
There's some good glove work.
Snow cone me.
Astros lead it by 3. Looking for more of a lead with George Springer batting. He's 2 for 3. Marwin Gonzalez on deck against Mike Montgomery. Sean O'Malley stays in to play left field after pinch hitting for Daniel Robertson. There's the look. He is a regular. He goes back to the El Caballo days. Carlos Lee. We have a new term that's been brought to our attention. Hashtag. There's the AL All-Star Game final vote candidates. So you can hashtag and vote Springer. Text A5 to 89269. We've been getting a lot of help from some dedicated folks who watch a lot of Astros baseball.
How about these folks in Houston?
Yeah.
Getting George Springer to be trending, and it's good stuff.
Well, they're also helping us. And you know how much we need that. Oh, boy. Liner, and that's caught. There are 19 fielders out there. 2 outs. Let's see what else we have. Where's the any key? That's beautiful, Ash. Just great.
You know, I've been searching for that thing for a while myself.
Marwin Gonzalez is 0 for 3. They're sending us YouTube videos to watch about texting. There's ball 1.
I guess if you start watching Homer online, you're probably not going to learn a whole lot.
Ted sent us a text photo of a keyboard. 1-1 the count. The pictures are classic. Bouncer slowly ahead. Marte on the first base to make it a 1-2-3-7 for Montgomery. We go to the 8th with the score. Ken Giles warming up. 5-2 Astros.
presented by authority of Houston Astros, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
What a night. And you recognize those two guys, Ash?
3 and 4 hitters in the lineup?
No, I think it's us.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yes, it could be useful, but then again, it might not be. But thanks, Curtis White. We move to the 8th inning, and Ken Giles is in the game. It's 5-2 Astros. Leonis Martin will lead it off. He's 0 for 3. Seth Smith is on deck to pinch hit for Gutierrez. There's strike one.
Remember when you were trying to find a site and you would type in www and all the HTTP and all that stuff?
That's fun.
Tell me you don't do that anymore.
That'll go foul. No balls, 2 strikes. I couldn't say that. Giles is 0-3. His ERA 4.76. Last 5 games, 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs. He threw a perfect 7th Friday night against the White Sox, striking out 2. The ERA has been coming down. It's still higher than he'd like it, but when it starts out as high as it did at the very beginning of the season for a relief pitcher, it takes a lot of appearances. How about this? His ERA, his last 27 outings, is 3.00. Fouled away. Pat Neshek had a 1-2-3 7th inning. And he continues to be a valuable asset in that bullpen. Check this out.
So if you're trying to vote for Springer, what exactly do you do there?
You do Morse code.
Oh, that clears it up for me.
It's the telegraph. Fly ball out to right center. George Springer's calling. With the shift on, he got there because he was closer. 1 out. See what else we have, Ash.
Yeah, I saw that guy earlier in the evening.
Pound signs. I like the Ash tags, though. I think that pretty much says it all.
They're changing the language, Brownie. How are they doing this?
Well, it happens over a period of 40 or 50 years, Ash.
I guess.
Now pinch hitting for Gutierrez. It's Seth Smith with a good season underway. 274, 10 homers, 38 runs batted in. Smith takes ball 1. He started last night. He was 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs. Well, we thank all of you for contributing and voting for George Springer. We think a lot of votes are coming in, although people want to know how they can get the updated vote totals. We don't know the answer to that. 1 ball and 1 strike.
When in doubt, keep voting.
Are you able to log on to your internets and find out the updated vote totals?
You are killing it.
You have a little different method of getting to information. Checks his swing, and it's 2-1.
98 on that piece of cheese.
That's close to Colby Jack.
Colby launches with nothing under 100.
Oh, he launched one better than that tonight, didn't he? That works. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
See the stuff with Giles, and you wonder how he ever struggles. Filthy over the top slider, straight downward.
Tell you what, the Mariners have seen some pitching in this series. Looping line drive hit into right field for the pinch hitter Smith.
The Coca-Cola Value Nights package is one of the best ballpark bargains. This special offer is available for select Monday through Thursday games and scores a ticket, hot dog, soda, and popcorn for just $18. For more information, visit Astros.com/Coke value or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
It's a very good bargain. Here we go.
Now, I've seen you wear that outfit, not to the ballpark.
Okay. Just around the backyard. Robinson Cano's the batter. He's 1 for 3.
Whatever it takes, get those votes in.
How many times are we allowed to vote?
You know, I suggested to a fan earlier in the game that I didn't know, but I thought, go ahead and keep voting. I don't know that they place limitations on you, do they?
Keep voting until they stop you.
Until that texting bill becomes intolerable.
You have incurred overage charges, and you will be arrested very soon.
I'm hoping we've all got unlimited texting.
Foul ball makes it 1-1.
What an elitist statement that was.
A.J. Reed's homer was hit at 100.5 miles per hour, we're told, by Darren Willman. The Rangers have broken loose in the top of the 9th. They lead Boston 7-2. Bouncer goes foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a reminder, the texting number is 89269. To vote for George Springer, text A5.
Just heard from a good old friend.
Who?
As we watch that bomb go foul, thank goodness. Former Cy Young Award winner Mike Scott, his wife Vicky, tunes in quite a bit, and she says she's dying listening to the banter going on.
Vicky has watched thousands of Astros games since Scotty retired.
Yeah, she lets us know that Mike, for the life of him, doesn't understand hashtag or the pound sign, however you prefer.
Okay, there's a guy who can't find the hashtag button. Bounce foul.
So hello, Vicky and Mike and
yeah. Well, you know Mike's not watching.
Isn't that the truth?
He's out chipping in the backyard while Vicky's doing all the hard work. Jason Stell sent us a book via Twitter. Twitter for Dummies.
Well, I guess that's accurately placed.
That should work. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, even former Cy Young Award winners don't know what they're doing when it comes to hashtags and all that sort of thing. Julia throws it out there like it's putting a little extra sugar on your cereal in the morning.
Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Gaddis blocks it, and it's a strikeout for out number 2 on Cano. Okay, now we're getting some word about the voting. There's another vote. Okay, we can vote unlimited times. Look at the number of times on that texting. Thanks, Freddie Garza.
Is that each one representing 10,000 votes, I hope?
It's kind of like a Boy Scout merit badge belt, right? They just keep building from top to bottom. George Springer's getting lots of votes. Nelson Cruz, the batter.
George, you're in, pal.
He probably has no idea. There's strike 1. Cruz launched a homer in the 4th. He walked in the 6th. We also thank the person who sent us the book, Facebook and Twitter for Seniors for Dummies. Clint Rousseval. Thanks, Clint. No balls, 2 strikes.
That was a healthy hack on the heater.
How many dummies do you think buy these books? Wouldn't they sell more people if they? Wouldn't they sell more books to people if they said Facebook and Twitter for seniors to intelligent folks?
See, it's not the dummy who buys it; it's a family member.
Struck him out. What a job by Giles, striking out Cano and Cruz back to back. It's no runs a hit and a man left. It's 5-2 Astros.
Altuve leading things off with an infield single today and a couple of infield hits yesterday. We've seen him using those legs, and he's actually needed a day off for a while now. AJ Hinch has been looking for the perfect opportunity to just give him a break, a full break. He's DH'd a couple of times, but he is exhausted like all the other guys here right as the All-Star break approaches. But Jose Altuve doesn't want a day off. We all know that, and he doesn't ever ask for one. But AJ hopes to give him at least one day off before that All-Star game, because there's not really a day off for him then either. It's constant media attention that you're having to deal with, or being in the parade, or being up early, or just visiting people. And then there's the game itself. So a lot of things going on for Altuve, but they are going to try to find a way to get him just one short break for the break. And then there's one day off before the team meets up in Seattle that Altuve probably will have the full day off there too as well. This guy's working hard, guys.
Thanks, Julia. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He stole a base. He scored a run. Pops it up to shallow right field. Robinson Cano is calling as he runs over, and the ball is caught by O'Malley. They just shifted the outfielders. O'Malley, who was in left field, moved to right, and Seth Smith, who pinch hit for Gutierrez, is in left field now. So, Julia, you know how things work with a skipper. You talk to AJ every day. If you're talking about giving Altuve a rest, AJ Hinch knows all the stats, right? He'll probably look at a pitcher who's been tough on him, if there is one between now and the break, and that'll be the game he rests. Right?
He also mentioned when these players hit, he's usually planning on giving guys day off, and that's the game that they hit the homer, and so he has to put him in the lineup the next day. So his plans are usually tossed out the window. But yes, I think Sunday was a day he was eyeing for that. But, you know, I mean, his point was everybody wants to see Altuve out there every day. And of course, Altuve wants to play all 162, but this team is geared to play longer than that. They want to play more games than that. And that's when it's really important for these guys to be fresh and to be able to compete at the highest level.
2 balls and a strike to Carlos Correa. He's 0 for 3. Well, it certainly has changed now with the Astros playing so well in May and June. They are back in the hunt. So, yes, thinking long haul is important. Keeping the players rested and fresh for what could be another big stretch drive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is a nice problem to have, though, when a player hits a homer, and so he has to play the next day, as opposed to about 9 guys who are candidates for getting a rest at the same time. Will Harris is doing some work in the Astros bullpen. It would be a save situation if the Astros did not score here in the 8th. fouled away. 3-2. You know, you also raise another issue, Julia, and managers do understand. Hey, fans are coming to see Jose Altuve play.
That's one thing he does try to do, is give these guys days off on the road. It doesn't always work out.
Line shot by Correa to left field, and one hops the wall. There's a good play by Seth Smith to hold him to a long single. Yeah, so that really accomplishes the objective. The days off on the road. That way the home fans get to see the home players.
Here's one of those Correa drive in the runs kind of swings. Doesn't have anybody on base in this case, but really nice to see that swing as many times as possible. And we were showing the graphic the other day about recently how Carlos has been pulling more of his hits. That one falls right into that category.
It's hit number 7 for the Astros. Rasmus the batter. Colby takes ball 1. He ripped a 2-run homer in the 4th. He is 1 for 3. Luis Valbuena on deck. So Mike Montgomery is really delivering long relief for Scott Service. Taijuan Walker left with the foot problem after 4. 2 balls, no strikes. He gave up 3 homers in his 4 innings, but since then Montgomery has come in and he has stopped the Astros on 2 singles for 3 1/3 innings so far. Tom Wilhelmsen is warming up now for Seattle, right-hander. 3-0 to Colby. Angels 13, Rays 5. That's the final from St. Petersburg. C.J. Cron hit 2 more homers. He has 11. He went 6 for 6 a few days ago with a couple of home runs. Colby has a 4-pitch walk. Let's see what the calculators have been doing, Ash. The expected win-loss record for these teams based on the number of runs scored and allowed. Seattle should be 47-36. Seattle is 43-40.
You take that run differential, and then it comes out to based on the number of games played and all that sort of thing. Tells you basically what you should have under normal circumstances. And the numbers are really good for Seattle. You can see the Texas Rangers have been fortunate to be where they are based on the numbers overall. If you looked at the standings today, you might have noticed that the Astros are creeping up on those Texas Rangers. 7.5 games back at the start of play today.
Texas is winning right now 7-2 in the bottom of the 9th at Boston. So that's indicative of where things might have fallen had they followed that famous Pythagorean theorem. Luis Valbuena, after a visit from Stottlemyre to Montgomery, is the batter. He's homered and walked. There's strike 1. And this could really help the Seattle bullpen with Montgomery staying in the game so long. But he may be tiring here with 49 pitches in relief. High chop to third. Seager will go to second. Cano to first. That's a double play, and it was pretty spectacular with Robbie Cano needing only about 1/4 of a second to get that ball on to first. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We go to the 9th. 5-2 Astros. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Toyota, let's go places. Will Harris comes in. The Astros lead at 5-2. They've out hit the Mariners 7-6, each club with one error. Let's take a look at last night with Will Harris.
Man gets it done, doesn't he? He'll get in the kitchen on the left-hand hitters with that little cut job. Has the nice over-the-top curveball that he'll get the strikeout with. And then sometimes just keep the ballpark big enough, as it was for George Springer. Thanks, guys.
That was save number 8 in 8 tries for Will Harris. He's 0-1. His ERA 0.74. His WHIP 0.87. 35 games without allowing an extra base hit, a club record in 5 games against Seattle this year. His ERA is 0. Dae-Ho Lee leads it off in the 9th inning. He has a single in 3 trips. There's strike 1. 21,553 the paid attendance. Harris is now an all-star, second among relievers in the majors in ERA. Well deserved for Will. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's been scoreless in 33 of 36 outings. Harris, make sure the footwear is right. The Mariners start a 4-game series Thursday at Kansas City, while the Astros are here against Oakland. Start their own 4-game series to take them up to the break. Bouncer off Will Harris's glove, maybe. Here's Correa playing it. Don't know if he got his glove on it or not, but it's out number 1.
Some of the long balls today. Luis Valbuena got a pretty good percentage of this one, I would say. Can't go past 100. Colby Rasmus, towering, majestic drive. And then the youngster A.J. Reed, other way on a fastball up and away. A little fan action mixed in, but that's a home run any way you want to look at it. So long ball factoring in big for the Astros tonight.
The guys with the big bats. Watch as Kyle Seager settles in. He's 1 for 3. Seager takes strike 1. He doubled in the 2nd inning off Dallas Keuchel, who could be a 6-game winner. Harris could get save number 9. Adam Lind is on deck to pinch hit for Iannetta. Around a bunt. Seager takes a look at it and decides not to offer. 1-1. The Reds stop the Cubs again, 9-5. And then Finnegan now 4-7, beat John Lackey, who's 7-5. Chris Bryant hit his 25th for the Cubs. 1-2. Texas Rangers have knocked off Boston 7-2 at Fenway Park. Slap to the left side and on through with a shift on. He gets it to the right of Valbuena for an opposite field single for Seager. You can text in your vote if you wish. Is it George Springer? We hope. Dustin Pedroia, Evan Longoria, Ian Kinsler, or Michael Saunders? You can text 89269. Text A5 to vote for George Springer. We're trying to call and we cannot get through on this phone. Don't know what the problem is.
One ringy dingy.
Must be a party line. Somebody sent us also a shot of an hashtag.
That was good. I like that.
I do like this picture, though. We've all felt like doing that.
Those were kind of the early days, weren't they, where you just got frustrated, things were going wrong. Now nothing goes wrong, does it? Except for
yeah.
yeah. Boy, did I get some looks right there.
Now it's Adam Lynn pinch hitting, 2 for 8 as a pinch hitter with a double. Lynn hits one out of play. He was the DH last night and went 0 for 3. Lynn, with a 243 average, has had 214 at bats. He has 12 homers, 36 runs batted in. So a decent year underway, certainly for Adam Lynn, who's had good years before. We talked about the time he spent in Toronto. He flares this one foul. Long run for Valbuena. And it bounces close to the stands. Carlos Ramos won the game for the Rangers in relief of A.J. Griffin. Boy, they dipped into the bullpen again tonight. Tollison, Diekman, Bush, and Dyson. Those appearances really racking up for Jeff Bannister.
Yeah, nights like that could really show up in September for the Rangers.
Swing by Lynn. And he comes up without any contact for out number 2. There's the hashtag.
That's what it looks like.
Yep. Very easy. We've got this mastered now, pal.
I think when that photo was taken, I knew exactly what was going to get attached to it.
Wow, this voting stuff is no problem now if we can go to that.
I think that was one of those Mother's Cookies cards we used to do back in the early 80s. Yeah. That doesn't even ring a bell for you. You weren't here.
I heard of the legend of Alan Ashby with the Mother's Cookies cards. There's strike one. To O'Malley. O'Malley hit a fly ball in the 7th inning.
Methinks you seek to deceive.
Now you go to Shakespeare on me. Runner takes off without any effort. Gaddis came up out of the chute, but nobody went to cover. And it's 1-1.
You wouldn't believe how many times in a game it comes up where the pitcher and catcher, in this case, I don't know how many times these two have worked together. Uh-oh, what signs are we using?
Yeah. The Astros are 10-6 when Gaddis is the catcher. Their ERA 3.24. He caught that strike, and it's 1-2 to O'Malley. Jeff Blum is weighing in, and he's been voting like crazy. Thanks, Plummer, for helping your incompetent buddies. In the dirt, 2-2. So the Astros try to win the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Maybe a pitch away from win number 45 of the year. It would be their 13th win in the last 16 games.
I don't know about you, Brownie, but I'm not scheduled to be incompetent until I get home this evening.
Text safely on your way home. No, we can't do that. Foul ball. Still 2-2. David Price got the loss for Boston despite striking out 10 and giving up just 3 runs in 8 innings. The Red Sox have been scuffling. They're down to 45-38 right now. And also Baltimore has been backsliding. Call, and that's the way it ends. Will Harris getting save number 9. Dallas Keuchel goes to 6-9 with a win. Taijuan Walker is 4-7, the losing pitcher, and the Astros are 5-4 against Seattle this season. They pull out the long balls, and it's Valbuena, Rasmus, and Reed going deep. So the guys with the big sticks really striking some momentous blows tonight. The Astros beating the Mariners 5-2.